AI is literally ruining gaming.
Everybody, it is Maddie here today. Hope you're all doing absolutely excellent, and I'm about to make your day a little bit better because we're talking about everyone's favorite two words, artificial intelligence. Wait, what do you mean you're not into that type of stuff, man? But it's cool. We need this sort of thing.
Hey, let's just start off by saying I don't think any sane gamer wants AI in their games, bro. I want my shit made by humans. You know what I mean? I think it's better. Even the art, bro. I know. I think Call of Duty one time had an art like picture thing where the zombie had 6 fingers, and it's like, bro, you didn't even fucking try. Really, bro? 6 fucking fingers?
I mean, look, a lot of companies are embracing it. Look at Ubisoft, where their big boss, Yves Guillemot, says he believes that generative AI is as big a revolution for games as the shift to 3D. Remember those days of push?
Of course. I'm gonna give you some prediction for companies, all right? But of course, Ubisoft is one of them. I'm gonna say Electronic Arts, EA, is gonna be one of them as well. I mean, these guys are big into the money aspect. Epic Games, maybe. I don't really know what they've been doing recently. And then I gotta say Blizzard Activision. The greedy ass corporations, bro. They want that shit bad.
Pixels on your SNES, that's the thing of the past when you moved into 3D with the N64 and the PS1, and now we're at the next big revolution. But at the same time as making big statements like this, Anno 117 Pax Romana comes out recently, and it has AI generated assets.
I wonder when this was filmed.
And Ubisoft describes it as, it slipped by. It slipped through the cracks. We did.
What the fuck do you mean AI slipped by, bro? AI just doesn't slip by. Oh, I mean, I feel like there's a whole process. You got to fucking aid, right? No? Yeah, that shit just does not happen. They definitely meant to do it, and they were like, fuck, if gamers found out, bro, just say it slipped by. That's not how that worked.
Didn't mean for that to happen. Same thing with Black Ops 7. Here they are with a bunch of AI generated assets in game, and they've been doing this since Black Ops 6.
Oh my god, that's the one.
Before that, but then it's described as an accident. Look, anyone
Just
who's ever
imported
an asset into a game engine and set it up as something to be forward-facing knows this isn't an accident. That doesn't just, oops, I drag and drop the file. It doesn't just happen, bro. Someone has to set it up. It is a deliberate action, and they're taking advantage of your lack of knowledge. But yet, despite us constantly hearing, sorry for popping off in the first minute, by the way, but despite us,
hey, bro,
constantly
you gotta
hearing
do
how,
what you gotta do.
you know, AI
get that frustration out.
These companies continue to excuse their weird advancements of this like perverted use of AI by trying to get money out of us by saying, oops, our bad. We didn't mean for that to happen. And so as I was sifting through a plethora of stories today, because Tuesdays are the days I write my Defining Duke scripts, I just kept seeing AI pop up, AI skyrocketing, hardware prices, AI in this company, in that company.
And that's the main, so the first thing that I heard that AI was affecting, I think it was last year, was like the prices for like computer parts, right? I mean, that's why you're seeing the price rocket in consoles, PlayStations, Xboxes, Switches, bro. Everything that they use, the AI companies are buying out, which makes it harder for them to buy, to use. Don't even get me started about trying to buy RAM. I don't know how it is now, but buying RAM for the PC, bro. People's RAM kits would cost more than their fucking GPUs, man. What? And I mean, they're all just getting gobbled up by AI centers, bro. That's literally what I think. One of the major RAM manufacturers went exclusively to providing RAM for AI companies, which is why the price rocketed.
I was like, dude, I just got to get a lot off my chest at this point. If we're looking at one of many reasons why games are failing nowadays, particularly in the AAA space, look at this push, man. It is such a weird gold rush to me, and I'm not super anti-AI in the idea of, like, as I've always said, hey, are you going to use the screwdriver or the power drill? Use the power drill. I get that sort of element, but we're looking at replacing art and this weird greedy push into AI to make these games cheaper, but yet less artful and thus lacking a soul, which is why we play them in the first place, is unbelievable. But now it's even getting into storefronts, and we have companies that are so disconnected from the general consumer that people like Tim Sweeney, CEO of Epic, are showing their ass. And
that's one of the ones I listed.
Xbox trying to inject AI into Game Pass. Dude, how the hell do you even do that?
AI into Game Pass. I think no. So I did see something where they would use AI to personalize your recommended games on Game Pass, which, you know, fair. Like, but it's a good marketing strategy, I guess, for people to buy Xbox or the Game Pass. But that's the only thing I could see them using AI for in Game Pass.
Well,
I
we're gonna go
wonder. I
through
wonder
that.
what he's gonna say.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you're new here and you're into a little rant every now and again, consider subscribing. All right, so this has been a topic that's gained traction over the years, but I feel like it's really reaching a fever pitch, and that's thanks to what OpenAI is doing. We talked about it pretty extensively when going over the Steam machine prices, and how I said right now when it comes to hardware pricing, I
Yeah.
don't really see a hero in this story, because OpenAI has announced that they are ordering 900,000 DRAM per month to start accelerating.
900,000 DRAM per month. Is that like US like $900,000? No way they're spending that much money a month for DRAM. Does that mean sticks? Stop. 900,000? No way. DRAM wafers? I don't know what that means. But I highly doubt it's USD, and I doubt it's 900 RAM sticks. Maybe wait. I don't know. I truly don't know what wafer is, but that is a crazy number.
The creation of their data centers to really push AI even further. I find it ridiculous and weird, and it has caused people like myself to jump the gun on upgrading their PC and their hardware, because we know next
Literally.
year it's about to be even more pricey. But on the software side of things, we're seeing a push on an equally high level in areas you may not even expect it. Microsoft, as someone who's covered them for the last 6 years at this point in time pretty extensively, is very much always driven by surveys that are kind of testing the waters to see how people respond to things, and they'll do it
True.
anyways, but it really gives you a good idea of what they're thinking about at that moment in time. So a new questionnaire showed up on Microsoft's site, and they were asking about adding AI to Game Pass, and this was posted over on Reddit, and they write as a caption, I mean, we knew
Okay.
Microsoft wants to push.
All right. Imagine Game Pass introduced some AI capabilities and features. Which of these would you be most likely to use? Okay. In-game assistance, tips and walkthroughs, that can be useful, but I mean, some games already have them integrated into the game. Except maybe games like Outlast, I know it doesn't have it, but I feel like if a game doesn't have that feature, you play it for the fact it doesn't have that feature. Post-game performance analysis, does that wait, they can, it's like a coaching service. wait Number one, I would not trust some shady I would not trust Copilot to be like, dog, here's what you did wrong, okay, do this instead. I'm not trusting AI, no way. Voice mode, using Copilot voice commands, that sounds like a nothing burger. Personalized game recommendations, that's what I said earlier. Game and account insights, like achievements, games. Anyone care about that, really? Or none of these? The only one I could see that would be really useful, I don't know, personalized game recommendations, maybe post-game performance analysis. But I don't know if I would trust that though.
Of AI
That's the thing.
everywhere, but I don't know. It scares me, to be honest. And they said, imagine that Game Pass introduced some AI capabilities and features. Which of these would you be most likely to use? They say in-game assistance like tips and walkthroughs, which I did cover a little bit of this at the top of the year with Copilot for Gaming, where they already showcased multiple elements of these. They're just trying to gauge how much of a shit you give about that, but they actually showcased an analysis where you finished a game of Overwatch and they were like, yeah, here's why you didn't do that well. There's a voice mode that says interacting with
I mean, guys, if this was a thing, would you even trust Copilot to do that, bro? I feel like, I mean, who are they train? Who they got training these AI, bro? Imagine they got tens in there fucking training the AI in Valorant to tell you what you did wrong. That would be pretty sick.
Copilot using voice commands, personalized game recommendations, game and account insights like your achievement, gamer score, Game Pass status, whatever the hell that means, or none of these.
Probably none of
The
those.
sad fact is that no matter if all of us checked none of these, it doesn't matter right now to these companies, because as you can see by comments from Ubisoft, Microsoft, and the like, they're so deeply convinced that this is the future for them. As we
Yeah, I
get
mean,
into in a mo-
I think a lot. I mean, AI is definitely the new technological like wave, right? And I feel like a lot of these larger corporations like Epic, like Microsoft, they're gonna want to leverage AI in every kind of sector. And so they're gonna force it on the devs to implement AI. Now, whether the devs like it or not, it's not really up to them, and whether the gamers like it or not, it's really not really up to them either. I mean, it just people just want to use AI for the fact that they're using AI.
Moment here. It is about how it's benefiting them, their business, their cost-cutting initiatives. That's the vision, the money made out of this. But as a consumer, I have yet to really see why this is the future. I have yet to really see why this is making games better, why this is making movies better, the entertainment, the escapism I care about. Why is it getting better through this tool set? I have yet to see exactly why. I only see it destroying things people care about. Here's another great example. Amazon removes English dub featuring AI voices for popular anime Banana Fish after audience backlash. So yeah, this is their new approach, is like, we're not going to pay actors and actresses to dub popular anime.
What?
We're going to use AI, and the results are hilarious. Take a listen to this quick clip.
Did this to you?
It's fucking insulting, dude. Like, this is your solution? AI is making things better. This is the future. This is a joke, dude. So when I see it being pushed on this level onto us, and then we're talking about Game Pass injecting AI, I'm like, dude, let the games be games. I don't know what else to say. Let the market do its thing. We have a really great ecosystem right now where games are very discoverable through Game Pass, just as it exists. That works. You don't need Game Pass AI to start pushing me game recommendations. We don't need insight on my Overwatch match every time. I don't need you.
This guy, I mean, this guy's right, bro. Could you imagine getting rolled in an Overwatch game and a Copilot? Just massive pop up on your screen. Here's why you lost. Dude, I'm breaking my fucking monitor. Copilot, get the fuck off my screen.
To read me a walkthrough from GameFAQs, or rather a walkthrough you scraped from GameFAQs and used as your own, because that's exactly what's going on here. The legal landmines that this is going to create, I just don't know how companies are going to get around it once things start to get tightened up and regulated.
The big
But
revolution.
the belief is there, and it's strong. Here's what Ubisoft fully had to say when they were talking about how AI is the next big revolution that is as big as 3D gaming. Guillemot said, "We are making great strides in applying Gen AI to high-value use cases that bring tangible benefits to our players and..."
Oh, bless me in the chat. Bless me in the chat. Thank you. Thank you.
It's as big of a revolution for our industry as the shift to 3D, and we have everything to lead on this front. On the player experience side, we are continuing to make progress on groundbreaking player-facing AI applications, building on our Neo NPC announcements in 2024. We have already advanced from prototyping to player reality, and we are looking forward to sharing more before the end of the year. Finally, Guillemot said that Ubisoft's embrace of AI goes beyond dedicated AI projects, and that AI use has already been integrated into every development team across all of Ubisoft's offices.
What I'm talking about, bro. I mean, Ubisoft's a prime example. They just want to inject AI into literally everything they can, and without even thinking about if it's going to be beneficial or not. I mean, it's going to be beneficial for Ubisoft, right? Lay off some people, let AI do the work, keep like one person on to manage the AI. That's a huge win for them. Now they don't got to pay benefits, they don't got to pay a salary. You know, I mean, this is so tough and scummy, bro. You're literally getting rid of jobs. Programming, art, overall game quality. I mean, those devs, right? Artists. That's so sad.
He explained, on the production side, we now have teams in all of our studios and offices embracing this new technology and constantly exploring new use cases in programming, art, and overall game quality. And as you'll see here on Ubisoft's own website, they announced in 2024 this Neo NPC program where they say, have you ever dreamed of having a real conversation with an NPC in a video game? Not one gated within a dialogue tree of predetermined answers, but an actual conversation conducted through spontaneous action and reaction.
Who in the fuck actually cares about that? I'm in an RPG. The last thing I'm doing is walking up to like a random farmer and trying to have a 5-minute conversation. That literally leads me nowhere. Okay? I'm assuming it's not like a major NPC, because then they would just code dialogues into the game to progress the story. Some random ass NPC just walking. Dude, I'm not talking to that guy. Alright, I don't got all the time in the fucking world to be chatting up with AI like an RPG, bro. No. That sounds so stupid. That's just such a waste. There's such a waste, bro. What the fuck even is that?
And lately, a small research and development team at Ubisoft's Paris studio, in collaboration with NVIDIA's audio-to-face application and InWorld's large language model, have been experimenting with a generative AI in an attempt to turn this dream into a reality. And they try to describe it as a character, not a program, so don't worry. They're saying that this means that the personalities of these NPCs aren't created by a machine, but a writer who shapes their character, backstory, and conversation style, and then continues to tweak once the language learning model starts to improvise dialogue. And I get it, on paper.
So basically, what they're saying, what that means, is that there is a real life person, right, who kind of jumpstarts the thing, like how in video games there are now. When you walk past an NPC, there's like a line or two that they will say. Then afterwards, AI is gonna take over and have a fucking, how are your kids doing? Oh, this and that, bro. We don't give a fuck. Let me move on with the story.
This can sound cool, but to me, it just reads like you put in the character's backstory, its lore, and then you have it generate some responses, and you go, not quite how I imagined in my brain, generate again. And what's interesting is this is all just using data publicly available. So what exactly is this doing? All this screams to me is a self-admittance that I should be very wary of Ubisoft products. And that's not something I want to be saying or thinking as we're going into, as rumored and leaked, a Prince of Persia Sands of Time remake. I've been playing the original Sands of Time for the last couple of days.
Confirmed, right?
It's a great game, man. I don't want to have it tainted by AI. Or the Black Flag remake that everyone's been looking forward to.
Okay, I'm assuming this video was filmed like last year. The Black Flag remake is already out. I wonder if Prince of Persia. I thought it got canceled. Oh my god, it got canceled 6 months ago. So that's right. Yeah, I remember hearing something about it being canceled. Ubisoft just dropping the ball. I mean, Ubisoft's been dropping the ball since years. But it's been bad recently, man. It's been so bad.
And I'm starting to see Ubisoft push this AI forward. Now, there are storefronts trying to combat this in ways that feel fair. If you're going to use AI, go right ahead. But storefronts like Steam announced at the top of last year that they will start to put AI content labels on store pages for these games.
Common Steam W. Very common Steam W. I remember they were in some hot shit because they were considered a monopoly. Yeah. let's have it stay that way. Because what do you mean Steam is the only one putting out AI AI warning? I feel like, you know what, out of all the companies that are against the overuse of AI, Steam is it, bro. Steam is it. That's why everybody gets their games from Steam. You know, it's what's the word? It stood against the test of time as being the best game client.
Games that use AI generated assets. And I think this is important because it's just giving the consumer more information. And for people like me and many others out there, we see that and we go, I'm good. It's a disclosure thing. It's giving your customer more information. If you don't care about that, you at least know this about this game and you can go in purchasing it, being aware.
Yeah, you're starting. I mean, you're not really starting, but you see that a lot more now, right? On social media platforms, they will say, "Hey, there's AI, there's a content label," and I feel like anything that has AI should have that, including games. If your game uses AI, say, "Hey, you know, this game uses AI," even if it was used at once. This game uses AI. Full disclosure, full clarity. That's what we need in gaming.
Of the AI content here. For the last couple of years, the comparison I've always made is to food, right? Like you go into a grocery store and you have your general products out there, and then you have your organic food section. It has the organic food labels, and it has more holistic ingredients that you can check out on the list. Usually that ingredient list is much shorter, and that's important for people like, hey, hand raised here, where I don't want to have like genetic engineering done to my food or it's sprayed with pesticides. Like, I don't want to take that risk. I'm not interested in eating chemicals. So I will try to shop for organic foods when I can, when it makes sense. And I'm willing to pay a little bit of a premium for that. It just gives the customer information. If you watch...
He said he's willing to pay a little bit of premium when comparing like human-made games to organic food. I don't think you should, or companies should charge a premium on games that don't contain AI. I don't think they need to. I think that would be taken by the public as a bad thing. So do not charge more for the lack of use of AI.
In the video, don't care about that and don't shop for organic foods. I don't judge you for that. That's your own choice, and you have the information to make that choice. It makes sense, right? Obviously. Well, why do we have it where major CEOs in our industry are arguing against this? Here is a tweet that comes out from Matt Workman saying Steam and all digital marketplaces need to drop the "made with AI" label.
Matt is stupid.
It doesn't matter anymore. To which Tim Sweeney says, agreed.
Of course,
the AI
Epic
tag
Games
is relevant to art exhibits for authorship disclosure and to digital content licensing marketplaces where buyers need to understand the rights situation. It makes no sense for game stores where AI will be involved in nearly all future production. And among
all future production, look, Tim needs a reality check, brother. No, it ain't. It ain't. As gamers and consumers are not gonna be pushing for that, bro. They're not gonna be buying your game if it's fucking AI in it.
A number of reasons. If you're wondering why Epic Games Store has never caught up with Steam, despite giving out great free games,
it's a shit
things
client.
like this are why. This is a bad mentality to have because it's saying this is what's good for me, the person clearly using AI, but that is not what's good for the customer. Giving the customer more information and making a more educated purchase is always the right thing. Always, without question. This has nothing to do with bullshit art exhibits or whatever weird ass excuses you want to pull out of your ass. This has everything to do with a very simple case of customer deserves information to make educated purchasing decision. If you're really that scared of that, maybe reconsider your usage of AI. I understand the idea of like, well, all games will use it. Okay, then all games have the label. It's that simple. If all food was organic, all food has the label. It's that simple. It doesn't not make sense because no doubt in response to this push to AI, there will be companies who build their marketing around all of this was made by humans. There was no AI
I could see
involved
that.
in this project.
I could see that.
And
Hold on. Rockstar's co-founder speaks his opinion on AI. This is the one I was worried about. Rockstar, one of the best game developers out right now, and they literally have the most anticipated game coming out in like 3 months time. That being GTA 6. I doubt that they will heavily use AI because Rockstar, like I said, is a good company. But I also highly doubt that they're not going to use it at all. I can't imagine a game that costs hundreds of millions of dollars wouldn't leverage AI somehow. But we'll see. We'll see.
I think Dan Houser, formerly of Rockstar, one of their co-founders, put it perfectly in a recent interview where he defined it like the mad cow disease. But really, it's about the people pushing AI. He said that is one of the other things we're trying to capture, that humanity is being pulled in a direction by a certain group of people who maybe aren't fully rounded humans. And I don't care if this sounds like a personal insult to a major figure in gaming. Look,
so he said that it was an ex employee or founder or whatever it was. So that doesn't really speak to how GTA 6 is gonna be. I wonder if there's a statement out regarding like current found or current like CEO or whatever. And from Take-Two, I feel like I gotta look it up, but I don't think so. I don't think there's a statement regarding AI or AI use on GTA 6.
Reality is when you become that disconnected, you need to be brought back down to earth like screaming fast because you do have the power to make positive change. And yeah, when I see that sort of behavior online where it's like, yeah, we don't need to give customers information on AI generated content in video games because it makes no sense. So you're just advocating for the wool being drawn over our eyes so that we have no idea what we're purchasing and playing? We think that's okay, despite customers constantly sniping this thing and calling it out and creating PR disasters for companies. It's like everyone thinks this has to be the future, but they're really afraid to take that step forward and be like, we're using a ton of AI in our game because that's okay. I recommend if you have some time in the near future
That's a good point.
to listen to some of the interviews I have conducted, because one of the questions I ask all of the people I've had on my channel thus far is about AI and the usage of it within their development practices. And all the answers have been eerily similar, right? It's been about, hey, we can't take this away from the humans. We have to be very careful with that sort of thing. And most of them, funny enough, the legends in our industry, a Ken Levine, a Brian Fargo, are using it in ways where they're like, hey, we don't care if it costs us more to pay for humans. We want that sort of thing. And when we use something like AI, we get either exclusive permission from, say, an actor or actress, or more importantly, we use it as a tool for things like lore, bookkeeping, that sort of stuff, data management.
Okay, so AI in data and like the backend stuff makes sense. And then what he said before was that you can start like saying that, hey, this game does not really contain AI in it, and all the benefits of that. I think another benefit is that you don't really have to increase the price if a game doesn't have AI. You kind of can expect that more people will buy it. Because of of the fact that you market it as, hey, this game doesn't have AI. Like I said, don't increase the price just because it's AI free. But a game should definitely market the fact that it does not use AI, in my opinion. And then I feel like more people will buy it.
What it is best at. Dan Houser continues on saying, I think AI is eventually going to eat itself as far as I understand it, which is really superficial understanding. The models scour the internet for information, but the internet's going to get more and more full of information made by the models. So it's sort of like when we fed cows with cows and got the mad cow disease. I can't see how the information is going to get better. They're already running out of data. It will do some tasks brilliantly, like I just mentioned earlier, but it's not going to do every task brilliantly. It's going to become this sort of mirror of itself. I'm slightly obsessed by the fact that when you search for the same thing again, it doesn't give you the same answers, and it's wrong a lot of the time, but it says so confidently.
So with that, I mean, I would say we're still in the very early stages of like AI. I feel like as the years go on, it will get better and better until we don't even recognize something's AI. And for gaming, I think it's gonna get to a point where you don't really know if something's AI or not. But as of right now, it's you can tell. You low key tell. Like if the lore has like bad writing, like yeah, there's a bad writer or it's AI. But yeah, man, as the years progress, you're not gonna be able to tell, bro.
I think this is perfectly put. Like it's exactly that. It just eats itself alive. It's generating answers that are already out there. It's just regathering it into a place, and then you can ask it the same question again, and it'll pose you the same answers differently, but maybe more confidently. I just think this is one of those things where these companies that are going all in on it are going to regret it one day, because it's just constantly a hamster wheel spinning, and I have yet to see, as a customer, as an active customer, the benefits. I don't see games coming out quicker. I certainly don't see games or any entertainment getting better through the usage of it. I don't see storefronts benefiting from the lack of disclosing that this type of content is in my games, because it's not making it better. And when I see that, I immediately think I don't want to play that, because it's making things worse.
It literally is like a turn off.
Every customer has every right to know that. That should never be something you argue against, unless you're scared of the repercussions of your actions and that people actually may not show up to purchase that thing. I don't know, man. It'll be interesting times to see what companies eventually hop off this gold rush, but time will tell. Ladies and gentlemen, I look forward to seeing your thoughts down.
I don't think that'll be anytime soon, man. I think companies are so heavily invested in AI. I mean, a decade minimum, unless something else comes out, which I don't think will ever beat AI anytime soon. So expect to see AI in gaming and in every aspect of life, bro. It's just how it is. That's how the world is gonna work. But yeah, bro, I think that's it, right? W video from Mr. Matty Plays. Make sure to check him out. Let me know that down in the comments if you how you feel about AI and AI specifically in gaming. All right.